Welcome to the Juice Radio Talk Show. 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 Reality TV, church reviews. Let's talk happy love and marriage lifestyle. Come and talk with us. Come and share with us. Come and laugh with us. Come on and pray with us.
Regina and Clovis, special guests. You should be following your lead. Bless. Subscribe on YouTube. Listen on podcasts. We live on IG and Facebook. This episode is sponsored by TRIUMPH Ministries.
Hey, everybody. Hey. Woo. Been busy. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Juice Radio and Talk Show. Listen, there's so much going on. I've got so many stories I need to get back and cover. But listen, I'm going to start with this one. And hello to all of you who are in the chats here and viewing this. Thank you for being here. Now, as many of you know, I had some things I had to take care of, and I missed doing this original story, but I'm glad I waited because, listen, the Tuohy family, they're responding. They are responding to these allegations. Let me go ahead and I'm going to get some information up here. I'm getting this from the NPR site, and they're saying that the Tuohy family respond to Michael Oher's allegation of his false adoption. Now, many of you who have been following this story, you know that Michael has filed a lawsuit against the Tuohy family because he's alleging that the adoption that they claim they did to graft him into their family, he's alleging that is not true, that it was false. And he's also alleging that they did a conservatorship to really just get money off of him. Now, this is really sad because many of you, like me, you watched The Blind Side, the movie The Blind Side. I loved it. I loved the whole, storyline of it. I loved how everything turned out. I love that it was based on a real story. And so I'm sad to see this being played out in real life, that Michael, the alleged adopted son, is now upset with the parents because, the so-called adopted parents, because he's saying, you guys just wanted to make money off of me. You really didn't want me in your family. Now, a lot of people have been covering this story. And I want to say this. A lot of people have been covering this, and I think they've just been looking at maybe the money part of this whole thing, because it is saying that being recorded that the Blind Side movie made over $300-something million. And so a lot of people are looking at that. But really, I think this whole thing is not necessarily about the money. It has some leverage to it. But I think Michael is really ultimately upset because the adoption was not actually real, according to him and his lawyer. Let me read some of these stories here. Let me go ahead and say hello to all of y'all that are in the chats. Thank y'all so very much for being here. Hey, Aaron. Thank you for being here, Aaron. Beautiful Aaron. And remember, you guys, thank you, Aaron. She's reminding you all to click like and share and subscribe. You're going to want to do that because I'm about to post a whole bunch of videos and have some conversations on them, okay? Not the messy stuff. We don't do the messy stuff over here. We do these conversations because, listen, enlightenment. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Enlightenment is what we call them. Hey, Fifi ASP. Thank you for being here also. Appreciate you for being here, beautiful. Hello, in my opinion. How you doing, girl? Thank you also for being here. All right. Hey, LaToya, sis. Hey, girl. Hey. Thank you also for being here, LaToya. Appreciate you for being here. All right. Hey, LaToya. Thank you so much. She's become, listen, go ahead, girl. New member. Yay. Thank you so much for that, girlfriend. Appreciate you so very much. Fifi is also saying, LaToya, me too, trying to earn these coins. I love it, y'all. I love it. I missed you too. Thank you so much. I missed y'all too, LaToya. I missed Fifi also, in my opinion, is saying this, and then I'm going to get to these conversations. She says, reminding y'all, hit the thumbs up button. It's free, y'all. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be reminded when a video is posted or a live stream is coming. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much, in my opinion. Hey, Robin. Thank you so very much for being here, girl. Thank y'all. I missed y'all, man. I have been booked and busy, y'all. I have been busy. All right. So I agree with you, Fifi. I really hate this for both parties. I do also. I hate it for both parties. Robin said the adoption was a lie. Let's call it what it is. They duped and used that young man. Oh, that's the sad part. That's the sad part. That's the sad part. That's the sad part. Toya says, Regina, we've been going through withdrawals without you, sis. Oh, be healed. I'm back. All right, you guys, let's have a quick conversation. Now, I'm getting this again from the NPR. The NPR site has spoke about this. Let me go ahead and share this on the screen so y'all can take a look at this, and let me go ahead and read this, because this is sad. This is sad also, because this was one of the families that a lot of people were admiring and a lot of people saw as role models. And then to come out and see that this is now happening, it saddens a lot of people. It saddens them. So you see here, it says the Tuohy family responds to Michael Oher's allegations of his false adoption. All right. So let me go ahead and read some of this here. It says Michael Oher, the suspect of the hit 2009 movie The Blind Side, has come forward with allegations that the wealthy Tuohy family established a conservatorship in which they profited from his name, image, and likeness. And now members of the Tuohy family are now speaking out. The 37-year-old former NFL offensive lineman filed a petition Monday asking the Shelby County, Tennessee probate court for the established conservatorship to be dissolved. He says he wants it gone. He wants it gone. It says in court documents, others argued that the Tuohys convinced him to sign documents that agreed to the conservatorship in 2004. The 2004 conservatorship filings claimed that Oher wanted the Tuohys to be his legal guardians up until he became 25 years old. All right, that's part of it. Then it says, or until the conservatorship was dissolved by a court beforehand. It says Oher's petition filed Monday stated the conservatorship is unnecessary as Michael Oher is capable of handling his own affairs. Sean Tuohy, the Tuohy's family patriarch, told the Daily Memphian that none of Oher's allegations are true. He's saying none of them. He says, we didn't make any money off the movie. That's hard to believe that nobody made any money off the movie. But there's other allegations and articles that are saying that the Tuohy family, the mother, the father, and their two birth children made allegedly $250,000 plus 2.5% of the net earnings of the alleged $360 million that the movie produced. Now, this is all alleged. This is articles, so I'm saying alleged. I don't know how much money the movie made, but I do know it had to make something of a significant amount because everybody loved that movie and it was really great. I'm going to get to your comments here in a minute, so make sure and put those in there so we can add them on the screen. All right. So it says a 63-year-old sports commentator, that's Mr. Tuohy, told the Daily Memphian he first heard news of the lawsuit after a friend sent him the article from ESPN, who first reported the story. Now, that's amazing. It's like you don't hear it from him. You first hear it from the news. Oh, my goodness. This is a mess. So it says, Tuohy told the local Memphis newspaper that Michael Lewis, the author of the Blind Side film is based on, gave his family half of the share of profits from the book. That's what he's alleging. They got half from the book, saying that everybody in the Tuohy's family got an equal share, including Michael, of about $14,000 each. Wait a minute now. Somebody got to find this out. This is what Mr. Tuohy is saying. He's saying that they made money off of the book, whose author is Michael Lewis, and they're saying that they each got $14,000. Now, I would probably want to see Michael. That's all you made off that, Michael. Did Michael, the author, make more allegedly? I'm kind of thinking that Michael may have made, but maybe that was the agreement that they had at the time. And I don't know if making money after you sign the contract, book sales, how that all works. I'm not sure, but I'll be Michael. Where you at, Michael? Because you going after the Tuohys, I would also go back to all the people. Okay, but anyway, let me go on. I digress. It says, he said, Mr. Tuohy says, we were never offered money. What? Mr. Tuohy, never offered no money. Now, I don't know how football and these deals go. Sometimes when you have an athlete and they're trying to get into a big football league or a college league and stuff like that, sometimes when you have certain deals, you can't make profit off of some of them. I don't know how all that works in the sports world. I know I've heard a little bit of that, that it could probably mess up some of your athletic deals that you have and so forth. So I'm not sure about all that. But Mr. Tuohy is saying we were never offered money and we never asked for money. My money is well documented. That's what he's saying. He says, you can look up how much I sold my company for. Tuohy said, well, we're going to look it up and find out how much he sold his company for, and we'll let you know. It says the conservatorship of the center of the petition filed Monday, Tuohy said, had nothing to do with the movie. What? Let me read that again. It says the conservatorship at the center of the petition filed Monday, Tuohy said, had nothing to do with the movie, telling the Daily Memphian. It was a way to satisfy the NCAA when it appeared Oher might play at the University of Mississippi. Now they're saying that the conservatorship that's at the center of the petition had nothing to do with the movie. Like he's saying, Mr. Tuohy is saying, I didn't do the conservatorship to make money. I did the conservatorship because I needed him to show record that he was living with me so that he could get into that particular college. Like saying, okay, you got to have an address over here and you got to show that somebody is your legal guardian in order for you to go to this school. So from what Mr. Tuohy is saying, if I'm saying his name right, apologize if I'm not. But from what Mr. Tuohy is saying, what I'm gathering from this is that allegedly he's stating that conservatorship, that word. I love y'all. I have missed y'all. Let me get back to this. He's saying that had nothing to do with the movie deal. It really was based on him trying to make sure that Michael was able to get into their old alma mater, which was the University of Mississippi. And they needed to have that particular document to document and show proof that Michael was living with them and that they were his legal guardians. And I guess so that they can make deals on his behalf or business dealings on his behalf. They're allegedly saying that it had nothing to do with the movie. But I would think that it would have to do with the movie eventually, maybe not when they originally signed it, it wasn't the purpose, but when the movie deal came up, my thoughts are that they were able to use that same document for the movie dealings at that time. So let's go ahead and go on. It says Michael was obviously living with us for a long time, and the NCAA didn't like that. Okay, so this is what Mr. Tuohy is saying. Okay, they knew that Michael was living with them for a long time, but the NCAA didn't like that. So if the NCAA said we're not liking this, so the Tuohys are thinking we got to do something to change this. Okay, put your comments, keep putting your comments in there. I'm going to bring those over on screen in 1 second, right? It says, that's what Tuohy said. Then he says, they said the only way Michael could go to Ole Miss was if he was actually part of the family. And it says, Tuohy said he sat Michael down and told him, if you're planning to go to Ole Miss or even considering Ole Miss, we think you have to be part of the family. This would do that legally. All right. And then it says on here, Tuohy said if Oher wants to end the conservatorship now, he would, of course, be willing to end it. So Mr. Tuohy is like, if you want to end it, we're okay with that. Because part of that, ending that conservatorship, is stating that Michael's saying, you can no longer use my name for anything, especially any business dealings. And also in that lawsuit that was filed, I think it was a 14-page lawsuit, Michael is also claiming that he wants to see every documented profitable record that the Tuohys have. He wants to take this all the way back to when they signed this. He wants to see everything. All right. I'm going to drop the link too, so you guys can come in and say hello on panel. All right. It says this also, Mr. Tuohy is saying this also. He says he also told the Daily Memphian that he began to sense a growing distance between Oher, which is Michael, and the Tuohys starting a year and a half ago. Now, I'm trying to think what happened a year and a half ago that there was this disconnect. What happened? What took place? And he also said, we're devastated. It's upsetting to think we would make money off of any of our children, Tuohy said, but we're going to love Michael at 37, just like we loved him at 16. Now, back to this conservatorship. It said that it was in place until he turned 25 or until it was dissolved. All right. Michael's now 37, according to this article. When he came in, they were 16. All right. So let me drop this link so y'all can come in as I get these comments. And then we're going to also share some more information, because I don't know if a lot of you are aware, but Michael is married, you guys. Did you know that? Michael is married and he has 4 beautiful children. Yes, guys, he's married and he has 4 beautiful children and a beautiful wife as well. And his wife, he's been with his wife for a while, 17, 18 years or so. And they were together 17 years before they got married. 17 years before they got married, they were together. They got married in November of 2022. So I'm wondering what happened. Did something take place that is like part of that? I'm not sure. All right. So I dropped the link if any of you guys want to come up. And let me go over here and I will pin it on my channel here. Let me pin this on here. And so you guys can, let's have this conversation. All right. So let's pin this here, pin it. All right. There we go. All right. So let's go on. Hey, Latoya girl, how you doing?
Hey sis, girl, this sound like a bunch of foolishness to me.
Oh, you know what it sounds like? It sounds like part 2 of the Blind Side movie. That's what it sounds like.
Yes, I put in the chat. I feel like Michael has gotten him a good accountant and they are combing through all of his finances and they are finding discrepancies. And when he went to the family about it, that's when they wanted to get mad. And that's probably when they came up with this, oh, well, if he goes to court, we're gonna, put this story out here. I can see it. Ooh, I can see it.
Really?
That's what I believe, because why all of a sudden now, a year ago. So that means he must have got him a good accountant, or his wife must have been on her investigative duties and started going through them finances and found out, wait a minute, something ain't right. And they probably went to go ask them, and they probably gave him some pushback, especially based on what Mr. Tuohy said. Yeah. And it's like, he probably like, okay, y'all don't want to give me the answer to my questions. I'm going to go the legal route. And it's like, Mr. Tuohy keeps saying about the conservatorship was set up because of the school and whatever. That's fine. Nobody has an issue with the conservatorship. The issue is that y'all didn't pay him his fair share. Y'all used the conservatorship to make money off of him, but didn't pay him. That's the problem.
Wow. I love that analogy. I love that. Thanks, girl. Hey, Robin, let's get Robin's comment on this. And Robin, also put this comment in the section. She said the Tuohys were on an episode of Below Deck in 2017. I remember the father bragging about how he negotiated the deal for the movie with Spielberg and Weinstein. What? Robin, do tell.
I believe it.
Hey, Robin.
Oh yeah. Hey, I missed you, Regina.
Oh, thank you. I
Maybe
missed
you're
you
the
guys
reason why
too.
my Wi-Fi's been killing me. I haven't been able to get on with Diva all week. So listen,
Oh,
I have a problem with the conservatorship.
okay.
Let me tell you why. First of all, we know very publicly that they talked about him being their son and adopted. That's the first thing. So they lied from the giddy up. Let me jump to him going to college. The bit about they had to establish his residency if he was going to go to Ole Miss is such crap, and let me tell you why.
Yes.
If he's been living with them for any amount of time, there has to have been some record. It could have been his high school record that attested that he lived at that address. He might have gotten mail at that address. I don't know what the residency rules are in their state, but I know in New York City, you live someplace for 30 days, you've established residency.
Okay.
Period. Now, let's talk about going to college. Now, what is ridiculous about it, you can only go to Ole Miss if we are in charge of you. That's nonsensical as well.
I caught that too.
The point at which, went to college, he was a legal adult. If he was academically eligible to attend and he was approved and accepted to the school, that is separate and apart from his relationship with the Tuohys.
Robin, I'm cutting you off for a reason because I got a comment for what you're saying before you move on. My bad, I forget. So he wasn't academically eligible to go to the school because when they got Michael, he was so far behind academically. You know, they had to get extra tutors and all of that. I think, and they wanted him to go to Ole Miss because they went to Ole Miss and they were big donors there. And I think for them to finagle a way for him to get in, he had to be a legal resident or they had to be his legal guardian in some sort in order for the school to finagle the way to get him in because he wasn't academically eligible.
Latoya, here's the thing. So what you're saying is my next point I was going to make, which is unless they relied upon what we have come to know as a legacy admission. Legacy admissions is something that was in the news recently. Remember with the man who sued Harvard saying that they were discriminating and they can't admit students based on race anymore? But what they failed to do is talk about the high percentage of their population that is legacy admissions who would not have qualified for admission to the university, but for the fact that they were related to someone. And I believe that policy will soon meet its end because it is more detrimental, more discriminatory than race-based admissions. So here's the thing too.
Yeah.
But even with that, the fact that they were alumni, they were big donors, they didn't have to take over that young man's life because, I mean, yes, it's helpful to have that relationship, but those old boys get together on the golf course or in the clubhouse and they say, you know, I need you to do me this solid, period, point blank, and that's it. I believe that this is very trumped up. I don't believe their rationale. I think that they probably did see him as a way to harvest the American dollar, making additional money off of the black did I say black? Yup, because that's what it is. It's another form of that, in my opinion. But you know, again, if it's, and let me tell you why, because even just regular and employment stuff, I know that, for example, I have a friend who said, you know what I really want to do? I really want to be admitted to the New York State Board of Mediation. And I said, are you serious? And he said, yeah, I am. I really want to be a mediator. He's an attorney. And I said, well, let me call you right back. And so I got on the phone. I called the man. I knew the chairman of the board. And I was like, "Hey, Hez, this is Robin. How you doing?" So I have a friend. He wants to be on the board. He wants to be a state mediator. Can you hook me up? Hook him up. And so next thing you know, I got a phone call from my friend saying, "Thanks, I'm now on the board." It's easy when you have relationships and trust and believe. Because I worked as a lobbyist, I have done political work, and you cannot ever convince me that that they needed to again have a conservatorship. And the fact that it lasted as long. The next question I have is, what triggered him finding out about the conservatorship? Did Michael need to do some kind of transaction that triggered it, and he needed the approval of the Tuohys? And that's how he found out that he was under conservatorship?
Well, let me say this, because it did say the conservatorship. It did say the conservatorship was supposed to end when he was 25 years of age. So a lot of this that's going on. Say that again.
How old is he now?
He's 37.
The conservatorship.
So it's been going.
Right.
So this
the problem
could have ended 12 years ago.
No, that's not. No, that not at all. Read it again.
Yes,
it says 25 or until
conservatorship, right? Yes, you're correct. It says by his legal guardianship up until he became 25 years old, or until the conservatorship was dissolved by a court beforehand. So I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to try and decipher which one or which. But I would think if this is mine, I would have to go back to the court and say, listen, it was 25 years of age. And this other part, or until the conservatorship was dissolved by a court, would probably mean anytime before he was 25, they could end it. But you're saying, Robin, that it's 25 and after, until he decides to do something about it. So it could have went on to he was like 80 or 90 years old. Is that what you're saying?
No, it says 25 or until they decide to end the conservatorship. So it could go on in perpetuity. It did not have an absolute end date.
Okay. Because my thoughts looking at it was, okay, 25, or if you want to end it early, you need to let the court know. But let's get back to the other topic here, the family. Do you guys think that Michael, and like I believe it was Robin or LaToya, I forget which one of you said that, do you guys think that he's really upset over this money thing, or do you think something happened 2 years ago or whatever it was, and he found out about something maybe regarding the adoption, and that's really what triggered this thing? Because we all saw in the movie that he was very happy to be adopted by them because he felt like he finally found this family. And to find out years later that the family that are claiming that you're our adoptive parents, now to find out years later that you're not, that could be a triggering point as well. So do you guys think it's really about the money or about the adoption not being actual?
Both.
Do you think it's both, LaToya?
And I think because Michael was a little slow, I think when they kept saying conservatorship, he probably didn't know what it meant. So they were like, "Oh, it's just like we're adopting you." No, you need to specifically tell him what it is, because it's not the same. And also, did you notice in the movie how they had it like the mom was the mouthpiece and she was the one that was doing all the talking, but it seems like the dad is the one that's doing all the talking.
Yes. It also said that Michael is upset because he said the movie depicted him as not being smart, or like you said, being slow, but he said that's not the case at all. And he said the whole movie is a lie. Say that again.
So the whole movie is a lie.
Movies are movies, John. Movies are movies. But listen, let me read this other part to you guys here and get back to these comments. It also says that additionally in February of this year, Oher said he discovered that legally he was not actually part of the Tuohy family. So he's saying that he found that out additionally. Oh, Robin, I think you have some back to you. Thank you. He said that he just found out that he's not actually part of the Tuohy family. He found that out February of this year. So I think that's really what the catapult of this whole thing is. But he also said that, he did not like that the movie depicted him as being slow. He says he's not. He said, but he didn't make no big deal about it because he felt like it could help people, in their own personal lives. So he just, he let it go. Also, it says that NPR, this is the news report I'm reading from, multiple requests for comments from both Leah and Tuohy and the Tuohy family nonprofit organization Making It Happen. They tried to reach out to them. So there's a nonprofit that she has called Making It Happen. And also it says in a statement released to local TV station ABC 24 Memphis, Oher said he was disheartened by the revelations shared in the petition filed on Monday. So, he said he was disheartened about it. And he said, this is a difficult situation for my family and me. I want to ask everyone to please respect our privacy for this time. For now, I will let the lawsuit speak for itself and will offer no further comment, Oher said. That's what he's saying. So it's terrible that this happened.
Thing is, I don't understand what was their purpose because they already had money. Like the dad, Mr. Tuohy, sold his chain of restaurant franchises for $200 million. So y'all had money. So why would y'all still want to take this man money?
Yes, that's true too. Now I saw your comment in here, LaToya, that you said he had some fast food chains, Mr. Tuohy, and he sold those. And I think that's probably what he's alluding to when he says, check my record. You see, I sold my company. So he's saying he basically didn't need the money.
But that ain't got nothing to do with his money. Greed is greed.
Yeah, that's true. Robin, you're going to comment? I'm sorry, you had dropped off. Robin, you there? Okay, so LaToya, your comment says, there is nothing wrong with having a conservatorship, Mr. Tuohy. The issue is that y'all didn't pay him for his fair share. Now, I spoke with my husband a little bit about this part because my husband is a football, enthusiast, and he knows all that kind of stuff and everything. And I said, what's your thoughts? And he says, probably the family were like, well, you're making money. You're fine. Michael didn't need it. But again, let Michael be the one to make that decision. Not just to say we're just going to take all this money for ourselves and pay the two children too. That's the part that I think was really baffling and heartbreaking too. Thank you, Cece. She said the book was published September 2nd, 2006. I have to look that up.
He posted in a chat that the book was published during his college, while he was in college. But the movie was made way after. Like, he had already been into the NFL and everything. So the movie proceeds and the residuals don't have nothing to do with his collegiate career.
Okay. All right.
And then I'm pretty sure they, every time the movie shows, every time somebody sees it, they're getting residuals. Michael's not getting residuals. Like, they could have put it in an account for him. So when he asked for it, here it is.
Yes, he could have, and they could have set that up for him, Michael, because you're not going to be playing football for forever, so we're going to put this money aside. But what Mr. Tuohy is stating is that he did not make any money off the movie. So if he stated he did not make any money off of the movie, where are these people getting these stories to say?
You can't tell me he sold the rights to their life for nothing, for zero amount of dollars? Come on now, Mr. Tuohy, who you think going to believe that bull crap?
Yeah, that's something else. Hey, Joseph. Yes.
Hey.
That's a thought too. I would not have a whole movie and nobody get paid. So I would think.
And the whole family was in the movie? Come on.
It says here from ESPN, the writer Michael A. Fletcher wrote this story from ESPN, and he said the 14-page petition filed in Shelby County, Tennessee probate court alleges that Sean and Lee Ann Tuohy, who took Oher into their home as a high school student, never adopted him. I think that's the whole thing why Michael is so upset, because you grow up all these years believing that these are your legally adopted parents, and then to find out that this conservatorship has nothing to do with you being legally adopted. That could really that could really traumatize somebody. And
so why would he adopt him if he was 18 already. You can't adopt a whole adult. So I'm like, why does that affect him so much? That, oh, I thought I was adopted, but they didn't adopt me. You were 8. They said they signed a conservatorship like a couple of days before his 18th birthday. So because they did it for his 18th birthday, he thought that he was adopted. Like, that's the part I'm confused at about the whole adoption thing when he was so close to the age of 18.
Now, here's the thing. When people are being adopted, now he was with them when he was the age 16. So it took them, I guess, 2 years. If you're saying it was alleged he was 18. But here's the thing. When you are somebody who are looking for that home, that family bond, it don't matter if you're 30 years old. If somebody say, hey, we want to adopt you, we want to be your legal parents. And maybe Michael was feeling like, okay, even if he was 18, he just wanted to have that sense of love and security to think and know this is my legally adopted family. These are my people. That's probably what he was going through. That's all that I could probably think. I would probably think the same way. Hey, you guys said you adopted me, and then come to find out that you're not. But he also said in this petition that he says the couple tricked him into signing a document making them his conservators, which gave them legal authority to make business deals in his name.
See, that's what I'm saying. I believe when he signed that paper, they told him it was adoption papers, but it really was a conservatorship. I think that's what it was. They told him it was adoption papers, but it was a conservatorship.
Okay, so Cece is saying 2005, 2009 is when he was in college. So yes, the book was out when he was in college. Okay, so maybe, okay, so they were thinking maybe back then. Joseph said investigative dues, LOL. Okay. And also Monique, hey Monique, she says it should have been resolved at age 18, not 25. She's talking about the conservatorship. Hey, in my opinion, how you doing, beautiful?
Hey, how are you, Regina? Hey, Latoya.
Hey, boo. The movie came out in 2009.
Okay.
Here's the thing. This is my problem with the whole thing. Okay? So this man has been well over 25 for a while. If they're not doing anything that's above board, they would have counseled this thing when he turned 25 or when he got married. The fact that the family has not counseled it tells me that y'all doing something deceitful anyway. Because as a family, if I'm looking out for your best interests, I want you to be successful. And so if I set this conservatorship up for you, as soon as he got married and I knew he was well taken care of, somebody was going to be after looking after him, I would have released everything that he had to him.
Yeah.
The fact that you're still holding this conservatorship tells me that you are not above board and everything you're doing is snake gate.
Snake gate. Oh my goodness. I tell y'all, this is a lot. And it's sad that this is going to take place. And it's super sad that they could not work this out as a family without the lawyers getting involved. So because Michael had to retain legal counsel, lets me think that they may have had conversations prior, but the conversations did not go well. So that's probably why he decided, let me go ahead and get legal counsel. And maybe that's why Mr. Tuohy was saying that he felt like Michael was kind of drifting away from him about a year and a half ago. And maybe because Mr. Tuohy, Michael was trying to ask questions or get some answers and he wasn't getting them. So he felt like this was the best way that he could do it, is to get someone else in the process, in there so he could speak for him. Yes, Ms. Monique, yes, a trust thing. Yes, I believe it. Latoya, did you guys, nobody knew that he was married? Did you guys know that he's married? Because I'm going to bring up his beautiful wife.
Yes, I knew.
Yes. And she's been with him for a while. I would love to know what she says, but you guys, you know what? She's very private. I have not found any social media content. And also I saw on this article from People magazine that she prefers to stay out of social media, and I'm not mad at her.
Is she our cousin or our light skinned cousin?
She's us. She's us.
Oh, sounds good.
With you. I cannot. She's beautiful. She's right here on screen. She's beautiful. Her name is Tiffany.
She
Her
looked
name
Tiffany
is
looked like
Tiffany.
Tiffany looked like she was going through them accounts, baby. Tiffany looked like she was on the prowl. She was looking through them accounts and saw when someone right. And Tiffany said, we need to go over there and talk to them. And she probably went over there, and Mr. Tuohy probably had an attitude and probably was getting smart. And Lee Hand sitting back there looking crazy. And she probably said, Michael, let's go. I already know we got to do. I got to go call Ray Ray and them.
You need to stop. You need to stop. I cannot with you. So Linda has this comment. Hey, Linda, thank you for being here. She said the Tuohys were on a Bravo show where they spent at least $80,000 for the trip and $20,000 for, I guess, another trip. They are always introduced as the blind side couple. Now, I'm not going to say too much about his money because you know what? Because if he had those chains, those food chains, they make a lot of money. So maybe, that was his thing. So I'm not sure if he really profited, huge off of this, but we will say whatever was owed to Michael. I would have said, Mr. Tuohy, just go ahead and give it to him. If you got money like that, and if Michael is saying, hey, y'all profited off of me and y'all made millions of dollars, Mr. Tuohy, just give your son the money and just,
Too proud.
happy.
Too proud and ego. I want to know why Leanne's so quiet.
Oh, Robin said 20,000 was the tip for the crew. Okay, yeah.
Here's the thing: money make people proudful. Okay,
yeah,
and money make people do strange things. And here's the thing: you never win when you play dirty. And for this man to sit here and say he don't owe you anything, for him to have a conservatorship for you for all these years, not end it, not give you the grace to handle your own family, your own life, like that's some level of form of control. And I don't like that level of control. Like, I don't need you to control my every whim. You know what I'm saying? That man has a family of his own. He has a wife. He has kids. He needs to be on control of his own stuff. And if you were anything above board, you would have went there.
Look at the screen. When they got married, 2022. Bam, there go your answer. I told you Tiffany went through them. I do what I tell you. Tiffany went on the proud, but Tiffany went through them coins.
Wait a minute. Wait, in Tiffany's defense, they have been together for 17 years prior to them getting married. So Tiffany, she's been there and had these babies.
But Tiffany didn't have no legality to that until, what they say, November 5th, 2022. When Tiffany got this ring, Tiffany went through them bank accounts.
Oh my gracious, I cannot. That is hilarious. Let me read this other part to you also from ESPN, this ESPN article. Now, Mr. Tuohy is claiming that they did not make any money off the movie, right? But this article from ESPN states that according to legal filings, the movie paid the Tuohys and their two birth children each $225,000 plus 2.5% of the film's defined net proceeds, and they're saying the movie grossed more than $300 million.
Where is my calculator?
So even if we're saying that the movie grossed $300 million, they're saying that they made 2.5 of the net, whatever amount that is, it equates to the Tuohys and their children getting paid. Now, here's where the contradiction in Mr. Tuohy's story comes into place, because Mr. Tuohy stated in this article that he said with the Memphians that he did not make, or the family did not make any money off the movie. So if you didn't make any money off the movie, where is this author of this article from ESPN getting this? Because he's saying, according to legal filings, each of you guys got $225,000, but Michael got nothing. And also it says this:
$300 million is $7.5 million.
But that's a gross. It's 2.5 off of the net. So the net could be 150,000. Maybe that's 150 million. It also says, and they made tens of millions of dollars more in home video sales. So I don't know, Mr. Tuohy. I'm not sure about this. And I'm thinking that this probably did have to do with money and
Mm.
maybe Michael again finding out about this. And Mr. Tuohy, even though he sold his business, it could be that his lavish lifestyle had that money to be blown through. And maybe, Michael is like, no, I'm doing my research and I found out this, and this, and you told me this, and this. And here's the thing. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Here's the thing. When you have business dealings with family members, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Because what happened is these things will come to light and they will find out what is the truth that was told. So it sounds to me like there were some lies that were told to Michael, maybe coming from allegedly Mr. Tuohy and his wife. And Michael is now finding out those lies. One main lie that he's not really adopted. And maybe they were saying, oh, this conservatorship made us your adopted parents. When really what they should have said was, it's not saying we're your adopted parents, but it does give us legal maybe guardianship over you, or whatever the term you would use for the conservatorship. Go ahead, in my opinion. What's your thoughts?
I think they were scamming him the whole time, and they thought they was gonna get away with it because they actually thought he was slow.
Mm.
And here's the thing: when you bet against somebody, you don't bet against them leveling up. Okay? They didn't bet against him leveling up. They betted against him to lose.
Oh,
And they was trying to get while the getting was good. And the
wow.
Lord he's a mighty good God that we serve, okay? And he will bless you in a way to make your enemies your footstool. And I think these two is finna find out that they finna be the footstools in his story.
Mm.
And then they're still getting residuals to this day. Every time the movie is played, they get residuals. So they got 3.7 million, roughly, allegedly, in our opinion. And then you getting residuals every time it plays, and they play The Blind Side all the time.
Yes. Robin is agreeing with you, Latoya. She said maybe it was Tiffany who made the discovery, the wife.
Had Tiffany started paying for the wedding stuff and started saying the money was dwindling, she wanted to know what was going on.
Well, let me tell you guys this also. A lot of this probably came into place because, from my understanding, Michael retired from football in 2017. So that's another nugget that you want to look at, because once you retire, if you don't have that income coming in, then the money you have starts going out and not gets filled with anything else. I don't know if he had any endorsements that he was still relying on, or what other income he has relying on. I don't know. So maybe the money started getting low, and that's when people started looking to see, okay, where do we get this money? Where happened to money? And maybe somebody's like, hey, are you still making any residuals off of that movie? And maybe he said, I'm not making any residuals. And then maybe the conversation came, why aren't you making residuals? The movie was about you. I also want to put this up here. In this article, it says, in the past, the Tuohys have denied making any money for the movie, saying they received a flat fee for the story and did not reap any of the movie's profits. And what they did earn, they added was shared with Oher. So they're saying whatever they got, it was shared with him. So you've got Oher's statement saying, hey, I didn't get nothing. You got the Tuohy saying you did get something. So that's probably why Michael and his lawyers are saying we're going to stop the conservatorship and we're going to go back and we want to trace and track everything that the conservatorship was in charge of, because he wants to take a look at all of it.
And if he was getting his money, he wouldn't have to do all that. He wouldn't go through the hassle of doing all that if y'all actually did give him his money.
And it says this, it said Oher's court petition, which is Michael's court petition, says he never received any money from the movie, even though he long suspected that others were profiting, according to his attorney, J. Gerard Schrank IV. Whenever Oher asked questions, he did not get straight answers, his attorney said. That's the thing right there. That's the issue why all of this is now legal realm. Michael alleged, his attorney is saying right here in the statement that he's alleging that Michael asked questions and was not getting straight answers.
I wonder, did he sell the fast food chains to make it seem like that's where their lavish lifestyle or where they were getting their money from? So he
That's
wouldn't suspect that they got money from the movie. And I
yeah.
also want to for Robin, if she's still in the chat, if she can answer this for me, when excuse me, when he turned 25, would he have to, regardless of when he turned 25 or when he wanted to leave the conservatorship, would he have to go to the court either way and get the judge to end it?
Yes, either way they would have to go to the court because they said in order to terminate it, he would have to go to the court and terminate it. Somebody would have to go to the court and terminate it.
See, he don't know that. He probably thought it did end and didn't know, like, no, you have to go and end it.
It says, and since the film's success coincided with the start of his lucrative NFL career in 2009, Oher did not take the time to fully investigate the deal until after he retired in 2016. I thought it was 2017, but they're saying he retired in 2016. So there's another key element to this whole thing. Oher was just starting his NFL career in 2009 when all of this was going on. So he's probably thinking, or he's probably thinking, oh, I'm good. It's whatever. You guys are handling all of that. And he's making all this money playing football. But it wasn't until he retired in 2016. A legend to this story. I pulled up another story, said 2017, but it wasn't until he retired that things started changing. And he started looking into more of this. It says, or eventually hired a lawyer who helped him uncover the details surrounding the movie deals and his legal connection to the people he believed were his adoptive parents. His lawyer unearthed the conservatorship document in February of this year, and Oher came to the painful realization that the Tuohys had not adopted him. So the Tuohys are explaining, and they're gonna have to talk, but now they're saying, everybody just pray for them, and they're gonna try and handle it. And I'm hoping that all of this can end on a positive note. It's sad that this is going on. It is a great lesson for a lot of people. I am still grateful that the Tuohys did take him in, because according to the movie, he was in a real rough situation. I believe his mother had 12 children and was having a hard time taking care of all of them. So I am grateful that for that part that they took them in. What's your other thoughts on this? Because now we want to talk real quick about Sandra Bullock, and then we're going to be getting out of here. Because you guys, they're coming after Sandra Bullock's.
Sean, the brother said something too. I can't remember what he said, but I think he was siding with his dad. But Sean, you was little. You don't know what's going on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Robin said yes, he would have to petition for the termination of the conservatorship. And she also says, but remember, he didn't know about the conservatorship.
And see, that's where the perception lies. You think y'all lied to him about what he was signing.
Right. Well, you guys are coming after Sandra Bullock now during this whole thing, and they're saying Sandra Bullock under fire as social media demands she hand over her Blind Side Oscar after Michael Oher scandal, saying that she doesn't deserve that. What?
I totally disagree with that because here's the thing. Sandra Bullock is an actress, okay? She played a role. She didn't go out here and deceive nobody. She played a role that she was hired to play, and she did an amazing job, and you can't hold that against her.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you in my opinion, because I'm like, y'all need to stop. Y'all really trying to come after Sandra Bullock and her Oscar. I cannot. LaToya, what's your thoughts on this?
I totally agree. And the actor that played Michael Oher spoke out also and was like, no, she deserves that. Don't take that away from her. She's playing a character. She's not the actual woman. She's not one that wrote the book or told the story. She's playing a character. She hired to do a job, and she did her job well because she played the heck out of Luann, baby.
Yes. I mean, social media, y'all being a little bit too much. Y'all just want some clicks and likes over here trying to come for Sandra Bullock. Leave her alone and her babies. She really adopted her baby. Now leave her alone.
And if I were her, I wouldn't speak out. I wouldn't comment. I wouldn't say nothing because it ain't got nothing to do with her.
Oh, Sandra's not. I don't believe Sandra is. Sandra is a very private person. She's a very private person, and I don't think she is going to say anything. If I were her, I wouldn't say anything either. I don't think it's right that they're trying to come for her
Well,
Oscar.
Sandra Bullock just lost her longtime partner, so I don't expect her to come out and say anything.
I was
Oh,
about to say
so
that.
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I think he battled cancer, wasn't he?
Very sad.
I think it was ALS.
That's right.
And you know what? And then now you have that on top of this, and the people trying to come after her, and her name's being brought up. And again, I have known Sandra Bullock to be a very, very private person, a very private person. So we're just going.
Even when she went adopted, our cousin, little kids, I side-eyed her a little bit, but she done did right by him so far. So I'm gonna give her grace on that. But no, they need to leave Sandra alone. She has nothing. I wouldn't have comment because I would tell her this ain't my business. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
That's right. That's right. Leave Sandra out of it now. She's done. She made her movie. That's what she was paid to do. She made a movie. Robin says people are crazy to go after Sandra Bullock. She played a role. She did not write the script. Exactly. And
I
also,
the script was embellished.
Say that again, Victoria.
I would like to know how much of the script was embellished.
Right. Well, we know part of it that was embellished is Michael is claiming that he is not slow. He's not the character that they portrayed him to be on the movie. He said he was upset to find out that was that way. He was portrayed that way.
I wonder was Tudor in on it too. I believe she was.
I don't know. Fifi said, "Love me some Sandra Bullock. Leave her alone. You better come on." That's right. Leave Sandra Bullock alone. Robin said, "At least Sandra Bullock actually adopted her black children." I know that's right. She did.
And has taken great care of them too.
Very, very good care of her children. Yes. Michael said this. He said, for years, Oher said he was content to live with the myth created by the movie, reasoning that it is an inspirational message outweighed the pain inflicted by which he saw as inaccurate portrayal of his life. But that has changed because they were saying that he wasn't all there or was slow. He said there has been so much created from the blind side that I'm grateful for, which is why you might find it as a shock that the experience surrounding the story has also been a large source of some of my deepest hurt and pain over the past 14 years. Or wrote in his book, he's got a book out, you guys, When Your Back's Against the Wall. Now, released last week. Now, hold on, y'all. Here's another nugget. He has written a book and it has been released last week. How coincidental that you write a book around the same time that you're doing this lawsuit and release it the same time. Come on.
Yeah, I don't want them to get no money from this book.
Yeah. Or he want this book to really sell. He also said beyond the details of the deal, the politics, the money behind the books and the movie, it was the principle of the choices some people made that cut me the deepest. I'm going to read that again because that is what is key here. He said, beyond the details of the deal, beyond the details of the politics, beyond the money that was made behind the book and the movie, it was the principle of the choices some people made that cut me the deepest. That's the part where he was really like, listen, it's not the movie, it's not the politics, it's the principle of how y'all did this thing, the way y'all did this whole thing. Linda
with him, and he probably would have been okay with signing it if they didn't have honest and explained it to him. But y'all lied, and then he finds out over 20 years later. I'd be pissed too.
Yes, I would be very upset too. Linda R says Sandy is going through a rough time now. Leave her alone. Absolutely. And that's why I left her for the end, not to drag out and have a whole big story on her, because I love Sandra Bullock. Not that I knew that anything had happened to her significant other. I did not know that, but because I love Sandra Bullock and I know she's a very private person, I did not want this to be like opening of the video here. Robin says, yes, he had ALS. And Linda says, in real life, he's not that way. He's a nice guy. See? Thank you, Linda. She says he's a nice guy. Robin says, and he just may have found out about the truth when writing his book. You better come on, because listen, somebody did some research for him, and he's like, listen, nobody's making money off of this except for moi. And I'm not mad at him. I'm
I'm
not mad.
telling y'all, Tiffany is the real MVP in this. It's Tip. Good old Tip. Tip did her job.
Listen, a good wife would do that too. A good wife would do that if it was. But also Fifi says, yes, cut him the deepest. I feel his pain. Yes. Now Tiffany has a company, you guys. I'm gonna just give this real quick because I'm for girl power. She says here, let's see, she's been married for 17 years. They met in college. Here it is here. She says that they got the 4 cute children. Oh, she's got a boutique. She has a clothing boutique. I'm trying to find the name of the clothing boutique. Oh, here it is. Roy is the owner of a Nashville clothing boutique, Feminist Collection, FEMINISH Collection. So you guys, she does have an Instagram page, so y'all can probably type that in there and check that out. Feminist Collection. So y'all check that out. And also it says, though the couple doesn't share much about their relationship, Roy, which is the wife, opened up on her business Instagram account about her new husband after their wedding day. All right. And it also says, despite being in a relationship with Oher nearly 2 decades, Roy is a private person who does not share much about herself online, but has described herself as a free spirit, mother, wife, friend, and fashionista. So y'all check her out on her Feminist Collection. All right, so that's my commentary on this story. I want to give some closing thoughts on this whole situation. I pray that Michael and the Ohers, everybody can work this thing out. I know hearts are broken all over the place. And if there has been any wrongdoing done by either of these two or the other siblings, I would pray that they would just come clean, say what it is, and find a way to get past that and get through that situation. This is one of the main reasons, you guys, why I always say it is always best to lead with the truth. It is always best to lead with the truth. That way, when stuff like this comes up, your family will be able to withstand and hold tight. But when there's some lies in family dynamics and in life, they will always lead to cracks in the relationship. And if there are cracks in the relationship, and if they're not sealed up quickly, when I mean seal them up, I mean come clean with it. Tell the truth. The truth is what seals cracks in relationships. And by doing that, you're making that family foundation stronger and not to be so weak. But when you don't tell the truth and you don't seal those cracks up that's in relationship, eventually those cracks will take over, and that foundation that you built will come tumbling down, and nothing will be able to withstand after that happens. In my opinion, what's your closing thoughts on this story?
I just want him to get what's due to him. I want him to know the truth of what happened in his story. And if it has been some deceit put out there, I want to know the truth, because here it is. When this story came out, my heart was going out to this family, and I thought they was doing an amazing thing taking in this young man and, being there for him. And if this is not the case, then we deserve to know the truth, because they told us that this story was based on a true story.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I believe it will come out. And you guys pray for these families, both of them, for Mr. Oher and his beautiful wife and his beautiful 4 children. Pray for them, y'all. The kids are on social media. They're probably seeing these stories, and they probably have looked at the Ohers as their grandparents. So you guys, they got to be going through a lot too. Now, I know we all want to do commentary on this, and we all want to share our opinions of this story. But in doing that, remember, these are real life situations. Real life happens, and there are real families involved here and real lives involved. So while you're out there sharing, do this. Share a prayer for these families as well. All right. Love y'all for watching. Love y'all for being here. We'll be back with some more great stories, but do this before you leave out. Hit a thumbs up on this video. Thumbs up. Thank you, Aaron. Hit a thumbs up on this video. And also do this. Make sure you share. Thank you so much, Aaron. Thank you all for coming. Share this story. I love it. Latoya says this. She says, really enjoyed this live. Really missed y'all. Thank you so very much. Robin, I saw your comment. Brianna, she's good. She's super busy. She has this job and it takes a lot of her time, but I'm really trying to get her to get back over here. I love it. And Robin says the Wikipedia description of Michael is enlightening. Yes, you guys. Go and check that out. Google his name. I mean, I really like it, like a gentle giant. Latoya said, Regina, don't ever stay gone this long. I will try my best not to, you guys. You guys know I love being on here. Thank you for the hearts, Aaron. Thank you. And in my opinion, thank you so much for reminding everyone to click that thumbs up, click that like button. Thank you, in my opinion, for being on panel. Thank you, Latoya, for being on panel. Thank you, Robin, for being on panel. And thank you, everyone who is in the chat, especially a great bit. Thank you to you, Aaron, for being there. Listen, I love y'all for watching. Remember to subscribe to my channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show. Go on over to our YouTube channel. Subscribe today. Make it part of your channel selection over there on YouTube. And hit that notification bell so that you be reminded when we go live. We got some more stories coming up, but we're going to try and keep it as positive and friendly and loving as we can. And we do that with your help by you being loving and kind in these chats. Y'all have a great day. Have a wonderful evening. Love on your family, you guys. And remember, tell the truth, because the truth will always be the seal to any crack in any family relationship. Y'all pray for the Tuohys and also pray for the Ohers, okay? Pray for them, you guys. Y'all stay blessed. Love y'all for watching. We'll be back on the next one. See y'all later. Bye.
A heartfelt thank you to all of our subscribers who joined us for this video. If you have not already subscribed, go to our YouTube channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show. Subscribe and click on the notification bell to be alerted whenever we go live. Join our private Juice community. Go to www.thejuicecommunity.com and sign up for free. Join us, The Juice Radio and Talk Show. We have our Money Monday financial series. It is a lunch and learn program at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. Also on Monday, we have our reality series and hot topics at 7 p.m. Wednesdays, we have Bible study at 7:30 p.m. Thursdays, we have church news at 7:30 p.m. We also offer motivational moments, happy marriage lifestyle, news from a godly perspective, movie reviews, as well as our single moms club, Let's Talk Ex-Millennials, and of course, our Cooking with Clovis. Follow us on our podcast channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show Podcast, streaming on all podcast platforms. A great big thank you to our podcast production company, Noye Podcast Productions. They can help you create your own podcast also. Contact them today at houseofnoye.com. Thank you to our sponsor, Custom Apparel Shop. Have them complete your embroidery work and silk screening needs. Do you need a logo created for your fashion apparel or company? Contact Israel Mason today. That is 786-657-7501. Thank you to our main sponsor, Truth and Triumph Ministries. Truth and Triumph Ministries, a ministry that cares about telling people the truth so they can triumph in life. Thank you, Truth and Triumph Ministries, for all you do.